Okay, so this is the issue. There's my hose and there's a jungle. Okay, these vines have gotten completely out of control and it's made a nightmare to try to get to the hose. But you're probably thinking, well, why don't I just walk over here and stay away from that? But the big problem with that is these little plants right here get huge. It's very, very early spring right now, so they really haven't started growing yet. But when they do, they completely overtake this whole area. So I'm kind of like stuck walking through here. So every time during the summer when I'm trying to get to the hose, it feels like I'm walking through a jungle. It feels just like this.
I'm fighting my way through the jungles of Borneo. I wrestled down a fallen tree and wrung myself out after torrential rain. But the jungle's not finished with me yet.
Now, I don't want to trim these back or get rid of them because it offers a lot of nice privacy when I'm sitting on the deck there, because you just cannot see through this. But I need to somehow get them under control and push them back. So what I'm thinking about doing, building basically a lattice tunnel that goes all the way through here. It's going to be about 8 feet. I want it to start right here, kind of go up and make a big tunnel. So where the vine's going to kind of like grow over and it's going to look like a hobbit little tunnel. It's going to be cool. But I got to figure out how to like get it to come up, down, and I don't want to go too far out here, but come back in and kind of like finish off right around here. So I don't know. So this is my incredibly brilliant, stupid idea that ends up not working out. I thought if I could just trace out the design to the size I want, I could pull the measurements and just start bending the wood. The problem was, for a perfectly round circle to be tall enough, it was going to be way too wide on the sides. So I started freehanding it to have a nice round top, but more of an oval shape on the sides. But that doesn't really work out either. So I just keep trying different ways to make a nice round frame that fits in the area that I wanted to, but nothing ends up working out. All right, so that initial design is going to end. It's basically going to arc up and come all the way over to here and end right here. That's not going to work. That's way too big. That's not going to work at all. Okay, so plan, I think I'm on C now, maybe D, I'm not sure. What I'm going to do is basically build a straight wall up this way, like a lattice wall, and then make big single arches that kind of go up and over this way, which is going to push all of this up, allow it to go over an arch, straight, and then straight down. So I think that's the only thing I'm going to do. I think it's still going to look really good, and the vines can grow up and over the arch, but just straight down instead of a full curve. Gotta improvise. Okay, so here's another one of my brilliant ideas. There were a bunch of leftover pallets at my house from having that privacy fence installed, so I broke them all down and used the wood to make the bending frame. The reason for that is I didn't want to spend any money or much time on the frame since it was going to be just a single-use thing. Meaning I was just going to use it to bend the wood for this one project, then afterwards probably just throw it away. And as we all know, when you use cheap materials, half-ass it and cut corners, it usually doesn't work out in your favor. Okay, so here's attempt number 1. I'm using the same steamer I built in this video, and the wood is 7 feet long by an 1.25 inches thick, which was my first mistake because that's way too thick. But I tried anyways. I just give it a quick test to see if it's even going to bend at all, and it really doesn't look good. Sorry about the cameraman, they got a stern talking to afterwards. And it immediately broke the first block. Also, by the way, if someone from Duluth Underwear Department is looking to sponsor anyone, hit me up. I do advertise your underwear quite a bit in my videos. And there goes the second block. Complete fail. So I ended up reworking everything. I started with cutting the boards in half so they're actually only 5/8 inch thick, so that way they're much easier to bend. I also cut the bending frame into the shape I want the boards to bend in. That way, as I'm pushing the wood and clamping it down, the pressure is put on the frame itself instead of some stupid blocks I try to glue on. Now when you're doing this, you actually have to be pretty fast because you only have a few moments before the wood cools down too much. But also, if you go too fast and force the fibers to bend instead of stretch, you'll end up going to break the wood. So you actually have to find this kind of perfect speed to move so everything works correctly. Now, just some details about what I did. I did steam the wood for 3 hours, and I'm using some basic Home Depot non-treated 2x4s, which I believe is either a fir or a pine. And nailed it. So from there, I just kind of repeated the process. I did 2 a day because of how long it takes to steam them and how long I wanted to let them sit in a rack. Because I did find out the longer you let it sit in the clamps, the better it is. Because as soon as you take it off, there is a little bit of elasticity to it. It does want to like stretch itself back out. But the longer you let it sit in there, the better it's going to hold its own form. And I repeated this process 6 more times, so I had a total of 6 arches. Now I do want to point out how nice it was to have this extra pallet wood just laying around because it did save me a lot of money by using it to build this frame. I just really hope I don't really get used to it and start becoming one of those people who try to build really fine furniture out of crappy pallet wood. Okay, so I took that free pallet wood and I made this end table. Now, I've been watching a lot of Johnny builds on YouTube and his pricing guide, so I'm thinking I can get about $7,000 for this. I even left some of the wood in there with the original nails that I'm calling patina. Okay, now, so for the actual walls of the archway, I did put some footings down and I anchored a 4x4 down into the ground with some cement just for stability. And I whipped together this framed out wall. Now, here's a pro tip. If you're building something away from where the final place is going to be, make it as heavy and as awkward as possible. That way you can completely explode your back when moving it. For the next step, I got to build basically this style of frame, this mini over here. But what you see is there's so much weight from the vines. It's actually bending the lattice. It's got a lot of travel on it. So I got to prop this up somehow so I could build the frame in through this mess. And of course, it's 1:54 on a Wednesday. Lawnmowers, leaf, like, doesn't anybody work? Is everyone's job around here just to mow their damn lawn 24/7? God, I hate the suburbs. Okay, so I'm thinking if I just take a bungee cord, I can hook it onto the inside of the lattice here and pull it and hook it onto the rail, maybe. Like it in here. Ooh. Hold this. Ah, we're good. Oh, Harold, what are you going to do today? Whoa, well, I think I'm going to mow the lawn. Didn't you just mow the lawn yesterday? I did. Well, I want to mow it again today because it grew 1/4 of an inch last night. And then tomorrow I'm going to mow the lawn again. Get off me. And then the day after that, I'm going to mow the lawn. And I only have a 1/4 acre lot, so I'm going to use the biggest, loudest fucking lawnmower I have. And then I'm going to use a leaf blower. And I'm going to blow all the grass out of the lawn because why not? Because I have nothing better to do. Mow the lawn, mow the lawn. God damn it. God, is it really that much to ask for? Just 100 acres on the side of a mountain with a private lake and a private pond stocked full of fish. Okay, so let me explain real quick where we're at since no one's mowing their damn lawn right now. So I had the frame built on this side. I had the frame built on this side going all the way down. So the next step, I just have to put the arches right across here all the way down. Ooh. God damn it. Oh my God, this is going to be huge. Yeesh. So for these pieces of lattice that go across the top, I ended up using some plastic lattice I got from Home Depot. It's got a lot more flex into it because I didn't think the wood was going to be able to flex with the archway and it would probably end up breaking. So that's why I ended up going with the plastic. And boom, just like that, she's done. Look at those glamour shots. Looking pure sexy. Gotta get that booty shot in there because, 34 million views? Are you kidding me? You filthy animals. But all in all, I think this actually turned out pretty nice. I would strongly suggest anyone out there, if you haven't tried bending wood, give it a shot. It's actually a lot of fun to try. And as always, I just want to say thank you for anyone watching. If you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe. Until next time, I will see everyone later. You know what, to be honest with you, I am not hating this look.